Welcome.
This is Eamon.
And John.
And I'm John. And let me tell you, man.
We made it.
We made it. We made it through pretty much almost. This is the last of the regular season games.
Yeah, there's a few smaller regular season games this weekend, but mostly this is...
We made it. We made it through another season of college football.
Looks like we made it.
We left each other on the way to another love.
See, I sang the only part of that song I know. Apparently you know every word.
Sorry. I thought we were going all the way here.
We're not going all the way.
We're not going all the way.
This is a family show.
Well, shit. Then why am I wearing this banana hammock?
I was wondering about that.
Anyway, last weekend was good.
Last weekend was good.
I just have to say this much. I went to the Raider game on Sunday. I was standing in line for a $12.50 fucking Stella Artois.
Minding my own business.
Minding my own business.
$12 for Stella? My God.
Yeah. Well, so I told you it was $11 because she accidentally gave me another $1 back. See, I didn't see how much change she...
Swindle god John Ericani
okay,
over
the
here.
fucking concessions people were having a... They just did not have their shit together. I was like, what is going on here? They're scrambling all over the place.
You guys do this every week?
Yeah, she's like fumbling through receipts. I'm like, all I ordered is a beard. It's not that hard. A beard. All I ordered was a beard. It's not that challenging. She's like, how do I grow a beard?
Never got that beard.
Yeah, no, I never did get that beard. But yeah, so I didn't see how much change she handed across the counter. And I was like, I thought I saw only 2 quarters. And so I was like, oh, I need another $1. And so her coworker grabs me $1 and gives it to me. And I'm like, then afterwards I was like, well, shit. Then I may have just swindled them out of $1. But whatever, it made that stupid beer cheaper. But anyways, I'm sitting there and I look up at the screen and I see the most surreal shit I've ever seen in the NFL, which is Michael Crabtree in the end zone taking swings at Aqib Talib.
With no helmet on.
With no helmet on. Which I don't think I've seen anything... That's kind of like being there for Malice at the Palace and being at the concession stand.
Yeah. If Michael Crabtree and Aqib Talib had spilled into the crowd up next to you while you were buying a beer, that would be some crazy shit.
That would be really cool. But no, I think what was it won't happen in an NFL game because
you end up just dumping your Stella on Aqib Talib.
Oh, I would have been so pissed. Anyway, it was fun. It was rainy. It was wet. The stadium's fucking falling apart. Let's knock it down. Hell, let's knock it down before the Raiders leave. That's my ideal situation. Though then the A's wouldn't have anywhere to play. But anyway, that was my weekend. On Saturday, my girlfriend was not around, so I got to watch a lot more college football than I usually get to. Iron Bowl was crazy. We did say it could go either way.
Yeah, you know what? And Auburn
forced a lot of mistakes.
Pretty much had that from the start. I mean, they came out firing. The quarterback was playing great. Defense was phenomenal.
That's Stidham, man. I was watching that guy play. I'm like, holy shit, this guy he may be NFL talent.
Maybe.
Maybe a little bigger.
He looks good.
But yeah, that kid could move in the pocket. He could run it. And that's what you need to succeed at the college level.
So they knocked off Alabama. Auburn's up to 2, and Bama's now 5.
Well, at the end of the day, you've only beat Bama back. Bama's like a wolf.
True, but you know what?
Back, but it's coming back.
It was telling is they hadn't played anybody all year, especially on the road. They really hadn't. I mean, so it was coming.
Yeah.
Also, Miami lost. The Canes, their luck finally ran out at Pitt of all places.
Why is it always a quarterback problem? I mean, it wasn't
Pitt, who beat Clemson last year as well. So
yeah,
you can always count on them for some just truly bizarre upset.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, it felt like I couldn't really count on Brad Kayadillas last year. This Rozier guy, I can't count on him at all. I mean, the defense played great in that game, and Rozier...
They didn't really play that great. They didn't really get turnovers like they normally do.
They got 2 turnovers, but they didn't score on them.
Yeah.
They needed to score on those turnovers, and they didn't. So I don't blame them for that. But, I mean, also, Rozier got them on the field too much. They got all tired out. Because by the end of the game, they couldn't stop shit, and that's when Pitt jumped out to a bigger lead.
What else happened? Washington State choked again.
Cal choked.
Cal just... They They just ran out. They just ran out of gas. Nah, I wouldn't say their heart wasn't in it, but they just ran out of gas at the end.
Yeah, true.
I think next year they're going to be great. I think they're going to be challenging for the North title next year. I'm going to say it. Let's fucking say it.
It's ballsy, but I mean, I think all they need, is an at-strength offense.
Yeah, you know what? As
just recruit some more defensive players.
The defense was already markedly improved in this first year.
I gotta look at the FBS rankings. I want to see where we landed.
They landed somewhere in the middle, I think, and they were near the top sort of near the top in turnovers forced. So
nice.
Even without some of their best defensive players too.
That's pretty solid.
I'm very optimistic, despite it being a disappointing finish.
Yeah.
But Washington State. Again, could not beat Washington.
They did what they did against Cal. They completely collapsed.
Yep, and they always do against Washington. I don't remember the last time they beat them, and so
I don't remember the last good Apple Cup.
And thus, Stanford is back in the Pac-12 title game.
Yep, once again.
Ugh.
They will probably win, unless USC.
I'm not
shock them.
I'm not certain of that.
Talent.
USC is favored. I'm not certain that Stanford is going to win that. I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah, I guess it could go either way.
But so our new top four: Clemson, Auburn.
Which I don't agree with.
John does not agree.
I don't agree with Clemson being number one.
Clemson, Auburn. Who's three again?
Oklahoma.
Oh no, Oklahoma's four, aren't they?
Oklahoma's three. I think.
Oklahoma's three, and there's four again.
Is Wisconsin four?
I feel like Wisconsin's three.
I have to check this.
I can't remember.
Everybody remain calm.
I messaged it to you, remember?
Keep your fucking pants on. Yeah, I know. I saw it today when I was at work, and I glanced at it for a minute and then got really just dissuaded by Clemson.
So Clemson's one, Auburn's two, Oklahoma's three, and
four is Wisconsin.
Four is Wisconsin.
So like we said, we who predicted the fucking thing here, almost.
Yeah.
We thought Clemson, or I thought Miami would beat Clemson personally, but Wisconsin at 4, which is what we thought. And if Wisconsin loses, Bama gets right back in.
Yep.
And we end up with 2 SEC teams, which is what we also thought would happen, potentially.
It'll probably happen. I think either Wisconsin or Oklahoma is going to lose.
Yep. I think it's more likely...
Possibly both, but I think at least one of those teams is going to lose, and Alabama will slide back in.
Unfortunately, yes. Tragically, yes. Sadly, yes.
What can you do? As long as Ohio State's not in, I don't mind.
Literally nothing. What can you do?
As long as Ohio State doesn't weasel their way in, I'm okay.
Yeah, that's what one of my boss at one of my clients is a Bama gal, and who went to Troy, and me and her are in this. I despise Bama for the most part, but we're in the same boat as far as Ohio State goes. We're anti-Ohio State till the end. We will die fighting off Ohio State fans. And it's something I'm proud of. I think it's something Sarah's proud of as well. We will fight back to back. Sarah, shout out. I won't say her last name because I don't know how she feels about that. I think we will fight to our deaths against the zombie horde that is Ohio State. The Ohio State fans. I'm sorry, the Ohio State.
Fuck them.
Suck a dick. Continuing down this road of treachery.
We should jump into the games. We're already pretty far in.
On Friday night, because Larry Scott's a fucking dipshit. And,
Larry Scott.
Larry, you're gonna get the Friday night game. Oh, okay. The Friday night conference game. Okay. Larry Scott won't fucking stand up for his own conference.
No, you know what? I don't even think it's him not standing up for him. I think this is.
You think he chose this?
I think this is his terrible idea. I think he's
possible.
Like, everybody's gonna be watching our conference championship game.
God. It doesn't matter if you're the only
on
game
a
on
fucking
TV,
Friday night. Who's watching that?
Nobody.
Literally only Stanford and USC people and us.
How empty do you think the stands are gonna be?
It's gonna be like
was it last year?
3/4 full at best.
Last year, I think was it me and my dad were placing bets, and then we looked up the attendance the next day, and I think I won.
It's gonna be 3/4 full at best. More likely like half
way
full.
Less than that.
Yeah, more likely like half full.
I'm thinking between somewhere and 1/4 and a half.
Yeah. It's ugh. So number 12 Stanford, number 10 USC.
I'm going to give this 3.5 because I think it's going to go a blowout. Well, not a blowout, but a 2-score game one way or the other. Like a 10-point game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I bet it'll be close for a little while, and then one team will kind of pull away, and it'll just be boring.
I'm going to shift my ducats.
Stanford is just not an entertaining team to watch.
I'm going to shift my ducats to Eamon, though, because I now agree with him. I think USC will build a 10-point lead and hold it throughout the game.
Thank you.
I'm giving this game 3.5.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yes. Kiss my ass.
Fuck you, Larry Scott. Fuck you.
Fuck Larry. Fuck the Pac-12. This is absurd bullshit. The team. I will say this. Don't take offense to this, but the teams that should be fucking playing Friday night games for the championship in their conference should be the MAC, the WAC, the MWAC, the CUSA, the American Conference. It should not be a Power 5 conference.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Moving on. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. we have the American Conference Championship game. A lot of these lesser ones are, for some reason, instead in the morning on Saturday.
Unfortunately, this could not be a rematch of UCF and USF from last week, which was game of the year, potentially.
I think part of that UCF stadium burned down.
Amazing. It was amazing. It was
some of the sand up at the beach level turned to glass.
I mean, it convinced me, because that game was after the Miami game, it convinced me that those two teams are better than Miami. Best two teams in Florida. I'll say it.
Oh boy, I don't know, man. But I think Eamon could be right. I mean, like, UCF has some insane speed. USF has some speed.
Yeah.
I don't know. They both play fast, offensive-heavy football.
Anyway, so this one's UCF, number 14, still undefeated.
Number 20, Memphis, and they're playing at 9 a.m. I'm not sure where. I probably should have looked that up.
I'll check it out.
Okay, yeah.
But
UCF
is there any chance in hell that UCF gets into the playoff?
No.
No.
There's also a very small chance that Memphis could even win this game, and I think the only reason I put it on here is just because UCF's a fun team to watch.
Oh yeah, they're a blast to watch.
Yeah, but they beat Memphis earlier in this season.
So this game is in O-Town, Orlando.
Oh, are they playing in the Citrus Bowl?
The Spectrum Stadium. I don't know where that is.
Oh, I think that's UCF Stadium.
They're playing in their home stadium?
I think
they're gonna roll.
Yeah, I think that's their home stadium. So
you know what? I thought this was a typo on the ESPN app, but it turns out it might not be if they're playing at home. The UCF is favored by 300.
It says, we figure someone just put an extra zero, but it very well may be 300, which is hilarious.
So, I don't know. I'll give that one a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3 because I feel like it could get boring if UCF crushes Memphis too quickly.
Fair.
Still hyped for it, though. Moving on, we have TCU, number 11, versus Oklahoma, number 3. You may have heard of them. They're a team that's called Oklahoma. I don't know who they are.
Baker Mayfield is back and ready to prove the haters wrong.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me when you say that. Don't you look at me. I'm not. No. Okay, sorry.
Turns out John is anti-crotch grabbing.
I just don't like. Wait. Does that get? Me and him went to a bar on Wednesday. Long story short, I'm walking by this skateboard kid, and he turns to me and goes, "I'm not trying to crotch grab you, bro." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Anyway, moving on. Eamon was talking about crotch grabbing. I don't know why.
Because that's what Baker Mayfield did. Remember?
Oh, he did a crotch grab?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this? That's why he got in trouble.
Oh, really? That's dumb.
He was cussing out the Kansas sideline, and he grabbed his crotch at them because they...
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what stadium this is in.
I think it's in Jerry World.
Jerry World, Jerry World.
So, yeah, that's why he got, everybody was mad at him. Because he was cussing them out and grabbed his crotch because in the pregame handshake he extended his hand and they didn't shake it, and they were laying late hits on him all game. I mean Kansas is talking shit. You can't talk shit if you're Kansas
I did
football.
Think that was pretty funny.
You can't talk shit if you're Kansas football.
That was pretty dumb.
What do you have to brag about?
Literally nothing.
Anyways, I think there's a chance TCU wins this one. You know, they were sort of they were undefeated for a while this season. They suffered a couple losses.
They just signed Gary, whatever his name is, to a big extension, 5 years.
Wow. I think he'll be there forever.
This was the year of the big extensions because we're universities. We've got money to spare. Like, you're not. What I don't understand what you guys are trying to prove. You're trying to prove like, yeah, we're NFL teams. We can sign guaranteed and not even NFL teams sign guaranteed contracts for their coaches, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. So it's like you're signing these guaranteed contracts, and you're universities. I don't understand the logic.
It's college football. There is no logic.
Yeah, there is no logic in college football. It just goes to show once again that it's just all pure stupidity. Anybody can run an athletic department these days.
John's ranting tonight. This is a show of rants.
Sorry, but I just don't understand. Like they gave what's his name Franklin at Penn State a 6-year extension. Sandy, what are you thinking?
I mean, they never end up coaching the full contract. Anyways,
yeah,
whatever.
They never do. Okay, let's move on.
I'm gonna give this one 4 stars.
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 2. This is a Big 12 barn burner. Okay, and at 1 p.m. we have number 6 Georgia versus number 2 Auburn.
Rematch from just a few weeks ago.
Yep, and they're in the Mercedes Stadium.
Yep.
Mercedes Stadium. They're in the Mercedes Stadium. And they're in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yep. In the ATL. A-Town down.
They just knocked down the old stadium for tailgating purposes. Just kidding.
That place was
What if that was why? They were like, we're going to have so many tailgaters for the SEC championship, we got to knock down the old stadium.
Yeah, so these two teams played about a month ago or so when Georgia was number 1, and Auburn demolished them.
They
straight up.
Shreked them.
Yeah, that was at Auburn. And then Auburn has since beaten another number 1 team in Alabama, also at Auburn. So they're feeling themselves right now, but they're not going to have the home field advantage this time. So we'll see.
Yeah, this time you're going to be swamped by Georgia fans.
We'll see, though. I mean, Auburn looked pretty damn impressive last week against Alabama.
I will give them some credit. They look pretty good.
Yeah. And you know what? It's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium on a Saturday, so you know what that means.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A's open. Whether that gives one team or the other an advantage, we will find out.
Well, you know what they say in those stupid-ass commercials on ESPN? It must have been the chicken.
Must have been
the chicken. Anyway, I'm going to give this one a 4.5. No. 4. 4 even.
I'm going to give it 4.5. I'm going to steal your 4.5 and use it.
I'm going to give it 4 even. And let me tell you why. You motherfuckers.
Okay. At 4:45, another rematch, but this one from just last week. It was the first time since 1935 that only the second time since 1935. Excuse me. That two teams played each other 2 weeks in a row. So Fresno State, number 25, at Boise State, and it is at Boise State. It's been played
on the blue field,
on the blue turf, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, they used some sort of weird
for Jeff Tedford.
They used some sort of weird computer algorithm to decide this.
Yeah, it should have been. It should have been the winner of last week's game. It's bullshit.
I don't understand. It's
the Tedford
stupid.
squad. Tedford is a legitimate Coach of the Year candidate. Took a 1-11 team and took them to, I believe, 9-3.
Look at it this way: this is a guy who the athletic department at Cal thought he was so bad that it was worth hiring a complete imbecile.
To be fair, he had sort of lost control of that job by the last few years. It was time for a change, although they did make the wrong choice in who they hired.
They did make the wrong choice. Let me put it this way then. This is a guy who literally had a fucking heart attack that knocked him out of his job in the NFL.
Yep.
And came back after recovering.
Coached in the CFL for a while.
Coached in the CFL. And is now coaching Fresno State. Took them from maybe a 500 team.
1-11. They were 1-11 last year.
I didn't realize they didn't even make a bowl game.
They were 1-11 last year.
This guy took them from 1-11 to
9-3 and a conference championship game.
It's pretty insane.
His alma mater too. He's a hero.
It's a parade.
And they won against Boise State last week at home, and the rematch is this week. So this should be a pretty good one.
I'm pulling for this one. Give me 4. Give me 4 on this one.
I like it. Give me 4. Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs till the end, baby. Next up, we got the ACC championship game.
John is hurt. They hurt John's feelings. The Canes' luck ran out. They looked mortal last week.
Rozier!
And I just have a feeling that Clemson's gonna destroy them. I don't think it's gonna be that close of a game.
I think the only positive we have here is if the Clemson quarterback gets shook AF.
I think Clemson has completely righted their ship.
Well, I would say this is the hardest defense he will face all year.
Yeah.
Including potentially in the playoffs.
Yeah, probably.
It's the number one turnover defense in the country. Or
I don't know that, but they certainly get a lot of turnovers.
Yeah. And so, that's really the only thing Miami has going for them in this one. Where are they playing it? Let me open up ESPN real quick.
That's a good question. I don't
They
actually
are playing the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship.
But, they're really going to need to not make any mistakes.
Amen.
I want to say this is in Charlotte, but I'm not sure about that.
Let me drop my hot take for you. What they're really going to need to do is not lose. And
that's a good quality.
It's going to be hard. Let me tell you right now.
That's some Trent Dilfer level analysis.
What they really need to do
Remember
is
when he said,
you
can't lose games in the National Football League and still win. He said that on national television.
Why do I remember that? Yes, I remember him saying that. Okay, it's going to be in Charlotte, in the Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play, and it's going to be raining.
So that is a lot closer to South Carolina than it is to Miami.
It's going to be raining, which means whichever quarterback turns it over more is going to lose.
So it'll probably be Rozier turning it over more.
Sorry, that's generally a rule, but yes, it will probably be Rozier turning it over more. The only way Miami can win this game is if the defense could get like 2 pick sixes or a fumble and return it for a touchdown. The defense is going to have to score at least once, probably twice.
Yeah, and they're going to need Homer, their running back, to have a hell of a game, to have a breakout game that puts him in the Heisman candidacy for next year. Like,
if he fumbles the ball, it's probably over because it's a rain game.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm only mentioning that because it increases.
I'm going to give this one 4 stars, but I'm worried that it could be a blowout.
I'll give it 4 as well, but I am afraid for Miami. I don't think Clemson is that good, but I'm still worried. So 4 stars, 5 p.m., 15 minutes after the start of the Fresno State game. So it's going to be up to you because then you also have another game at 5 p.m., which is number 8. Ohio State.
Excuse me, I gotta go puke.
Versus number 4, the University of Wisconsin-Madison, hailed as heroes in their hometown.
You know what?
Undefeated.
They are the only undefeated team in the playoff currently. And
I like to call them the UCF of the North. What do you want from me?
That's what I want in a national championship game. Wisconsin versus UCF. Give me it. Give me it.
I'll take it. This is an interesting one. We have Ohio State favored by 65%. 64.8%, sorry. And they are playing in Lucas Oil Stadium, which is indoors.
Yep.
So we got that going for us. I'm not sure if Wisconsin no one, neither of these teams have played an indoor game this year.
No.
Yeah, none of them have. They don't really do that in college.
Unless they play like a non-conference game at like, I don't know. And probably not. I don't remember it, but
needless to say, don't miss your field goals. It's indoors. Jesus Christ.
This is so important that Wisconsin wins this because I don't want any sort of Ohio State weaseling their way into the playoff. Only they could.
Okay, if they squeak their way past Alabama, I'm gonna shoot myself. Because let's be 300% real here. That would be the most absurd fucking situation. Ohio State, a 2-loss team, sneaks their way past Alabama.
You know what? They wouldn't. I feel like the only way they get in is if 2 or more of the top 4 current teams lose this weekend.
So you're saying Auburn loses?
Let's say no. I'm gonna say
Oklahoma loses.
Let's say Oklahoma loses.
No, because then they put in TCU. No.
Okay, well, let's say Oklahoma loses. I don't think they would. I think they would put in Ohio State before TCU. I legitimately think they would. Let's say
Where's
Oklahoma
Ohio State sitting? 6?
8.
8.
So let's
TCU's
say
sitting 9.
TCU's 11, man.
Oh, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
Who's hitting 7?
Miami, I think, right?
No, I thought
Miami's 7.
Oh, Miami's sitting 7?
Yeah. I think just what I see from the committee is
Stop. You're making me cry.
is if Ohio State beats Wisconsin and TCU beats Oklahoma, I bet they take 2 SEC teams and Ohio State, and I would fucking lose it. Lose it.
No, fuck you, Eamon. Fuck you.
But it's real, man.
Oh my god.
Can't debate that.
You're fucking right. If Oklahoma manages to lose, oh my god, I'm rooting for Oklahoma.
See?
What twisted world is this?
That said, Wisconsin needs to play their game. It's a slow-paced, boring game, but they're good at it.
Yeah.
And so they just need to do that, and I think they have a legit shot of winning.
Intercept there.
I think the predicting numbers there is too lopsided in favor of Ohio State.
No, it's just a bunch of Ohio State fucking hooligans.
I don't get it. Did you see the line? What was the line?
None of you have jobs.
What was the line on that game? Did you see?
Hold on, I was busy telling off Ohio State fans.
I understand.
Let's see. Women's basketball, National
Let's
Hockey
talk some
League.
women's basketball.
Let me tell you right now, motherfuckers. Hold the phone.
So that game, Ohio State favored by 6.5.
I believe that's the closest line of the day outside of Auburn. Yeah, no, and USC. That's the closest champ game besides the Pac-12 and the SEC.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but I think Wisconsin still has a good shot.
Yeah.
Go Badgers.
I want to believe.
Go Badgers.
I want to believe Badgers. You're indoors.
Do it for Anders.
It's a big stage. You haven't come far before this.
Do it for Durs.
Just do it for me. I mean, Jesus.
And for John.
Do it for me, please.
I
can't stand Ohio State.
4 stars.
I will give it 4. We've given a lot of 4 today because this is champ weekend.
Yep.
Our insider, Siobhan, could not be here tonight. We should hopefully have her next week for a pre-Army Navy / bowl, ultra early bowl preview.
Ultra early.
Not ultra early, early bowl preview.
Pretty early.
Fairly early.
Yeah.
Let's call it the fairly early bowl preview. The somewhat early bowl preview. Shout out to my boys on the Twitters. To Brandy.
Shout out to Brandy.
Shout out to Brandy. Oh, Brandy. Brandy, you like the beverage. Golden and beautiful. I don't know where I was going with that.
I thought you were going to start singing Brandy by Looking Glass. Glad you didn't, though.
Nah, I think it's a little too
little on the nose.
overdone.
Little on the nose.
I feel like every girl who's named Brandy hears that. You know?
Anywho.
I'm John.
I'm Rico Suave.
He's Rico Suave. And we will see you next time on the College Football Preview. Notice I put a "the" in the front. Yeah.
We out.